welcome to Escape to Gaming. Today I wanted to do, I just saw it from Rich from Review Tech USA, did a wonderful little video on his feelings of this new PlayStation Now, this major cloud-based streaming ability, which will be able to go through tablets and TVs and smart TVs and, you know, maybe even through your PlayStation 4, Xbox One. You'll be able to play all these cloud-based games, and especially with the PS4, you'll be able to go back and play, old PlayStation classics, and many, people know that I've already downloaded. I've got Manhunt, GTA 3, I've got GTA Vice City, Warriors, many wonderful games that were on the PlayStation. I have them downloaded in my PlayStation 3. And it's a wonderful service. At least you can get to play on a current flat screen TV many of these classics. Unfortunately, all my memory cards for my PlayStation 2 are right here. All the game saves are in there, and some of them, there's only so many in there. I had to actually delete a lot of saves to make room for new games that I like. But I like the ability still to collect a game and to look at the game package, the original material, the box art cover, everything. That's why, in fact, here's an old Xbox game. I got rid of my whole Xbox collection, but I'm anxious to get them back. And just have a few of them back, because I really miss looking at the packaging, opening up, seeing the booklet, everything, and seeing the physical disc. It's just a wonderful thing as a collector, and I've been collecting things my whole life. But anyway, that's what this rant is all about. Last June I did a rant that's called Whatever Gaming Legacy, and this is pretty much a follow-up. Now, this is actually going forward now, several months, and reflecting on the new decisions I've made since the Microsoft reveal and the first Sony PS4 press conference. That's what this whole little rant's all about. And I'll have a link to Rich's his video below. But basically, Rich was stating, and even before he made the video, I follow him on Facebook, he posted he was actually depressed after this latest, announcement of the new, PlayStation Now and how wonderful it's going to be. A lot of people are excited about it. Initially, when I first heard about it in the original Sony press conference, I thought it was kind of, oh good, at least we'll be able to go back, kind of like backward compatibility and play old games, but you never really own the games. What happens if something happens to Sony, or the company gets bought out, the way things are in the corporate world, things get taken over, someone else buys it out, dumps the stock, all of a sudden it's liquidated, it's no longer available, and then what happens to all your stream-based games? What happens to your collection? For years, a lot of younger gamers, and I already posted a comment on Rich's video, and I got some sarcastic things. Well, what happens when there's going to be a house fire? Boy, there'll be many tears shed and all that. Well, I'll go out and I'll buy all that stuff all over again. I don't care what it costs. That's how important my gaming collection is. I got over $70,000 in my video collection. It's taken me years to collect it. I could probably never afford to buy back even a portion of those games, of those movies. But my gaming collection is doable. In this day and age, because of Amazon and eBay, the internet, you can find in many wonderful mom and pop stores or even GameStop sell used games. There's tons of games you can buy cheap, $5, $12, $20. Used strategy guides, tons of used Super NES, even Panasonic 3DOs. I got this wonderful mint condition PlayStation 2 last summer for $40. What's interesting is after my gaming legacy rant, I followed through and I went out and I got the PlayStation 2. I got a beautiful, 27-inch Sony Trinitron progressive scan analog TV with surround for $25. I got all of these PlayStation 2 games. I got a bunch of PlayStation 1 games down on the floor. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm able to go back and replay all these old games, at least a portion of what I used to have. I'm still going to go through, and this summer, or actually pretty soon here, this spring, I'm going to get that original Xbox again and get the Super NES, and I'm also going to get a Panasonic 3DO. I'll get a few games for each console initially, and then later maybe I'll buy more as I come across them. So I'm really excited about this prospect. I might even get a Sega Dreamcast or 32X, who knows. I'm really excited because we've never been in a better age where accessibility to getting these old hardware systems and games is possible. But what about the future? No one really thinks about that. I never did myself. As a younger person in my 20s, I had the baddest muscle cars, SS Chevelles, SS Chevy Novas, 68 GTO convertibles. I had several Camaros, 74 Z28, 70 SS Camaro, Wonderful, two 69 Dodge Chargers, two 70 Dodge Challengers, Chrysler 300s, old suicide door Lincoln Continentals, 67 big block Mustang, similar to the one that's in Bullet. I've had the baddest muscle cars you could own, but at the time they were $800, $1,200. I got a RT70 Challenger, which today are worth over $100,000. I only paid $2,700 for it. I actually wrecked that car drag racing it. Lost control, went over a curb, hit a pole, destroyed the car. Went out and bought another one. Just a car. It was like a Bic lighter to me. It didn't matter. That was my mistake. And I had friends in my Chrysler club said, Dean, some of these cars are... I bought this 69 RTSE Charger, and I restored it. And it was worth a lot of money. I actually made some good money off it. But I had a friend of mine said, Dean, there's only that's one of 2,100 made. Don't sell that car. It'll be worth a fortune. Oh, okay, it's just a car, dude. Who cares? Yeah, well, now that car is worth over $100,000. They were selling over a decade ago for over 75 grand. So obviously, if I had thought ahead and thought, no, gaming consoles are not going to be worth big money, and there's people that do it just for the money, but I regret selling them just because I missed the cars. The cars are priceless now. Looking back, I have a photo album, filled with photos of most of the cars. Some of them I was so busy having fun with them, I never even bothered to get pictures. I was living in the now. I didn't care about the future. I had a huge vinyl record collection of flawless records, still in the cellophane. I make a little slit, pull the record out, carefully put it on, dust them off, no fingerprints, no scratches. Those would be worth thousands today. Gave them away. I gave away my Super NES to my nephew with a pile of games 30 inches high. Oh, here, dude, take them. He probably has them. I don't know. I never thought to ask him. Same thing, I got rid of my original Xbox, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, because I got the Xbox 360. I went out and bought this in '09. Brand new. '09 Elite. And I was so enthralled. The graphics are so good. I'm like, screw this PlayStation 2 and Xbox One, original Xbox. So I got rid of them. Big mistake. Now I'm going to have to go out and buy another one. I'm glad at that time I didn't care. So I gave Classic Gamer 20 odd games and several PC games. I think I got a total like 24, 25 games of Classic Gamer. Undertow reviewed every single one of them. Mark's actually reviewed a couple of them over again. And he's got another review coming up of Duke Nukem Time to Kill, which I'm looking forward to seeing soon. But many of these games I just didn't think ahead. I didn't plan, and I was having fun in the now. Who cares about these old PlayStation games? I was playing The Godfather. One of my favorite games in the original Xbox. Right at the time when I first got this Xbox 360, I had like 2/3 of the game done. I never went back and played it. I actually got rid of my strategy guide, the game, everything. Traded them all in my mom and pop store, which they gladly took, and it was a big mistake. So and then I got a couple right when Twisted Metal came out, 2010, 2011, whenever it was, Valentine's Day. I got for Christmas this PlayStation 3. It works great. I love it. It's only 160 gig, the hard drive in it, but I'm looking forward to getting another one just because I can. I want to get a 500 gig, maybe a Super Slim or something, and enjoy that for years to come. That way I can, play all those favorite Rockstar games and all those Uncharted games and exclusives, or The Last of Us. If I want to play it 12 years from now, I can. I don't want to play it on a stream deal. That may be here, it might not be. I like collecting. I'm a collector. I got rid of my comic book collection. I hate to think what that would be worth today. My cassette collection. Now, I still have an enormous CD collection. That I'm not getting rid of. I think part of that comes with age. Once you get a little older, you start to look back, and I used to mock people. Look at these old people living in the past all the time. What the hell do they know? They don't know shit, Well, later you realize that maybe they aren't so dumb. They hung on to things. And I'm starting to do that. The last 5 years or so, I'm starting to look back at my life and go, I'm glad I kept my old, Budweiser 60 sign from the 60s. I'm glad I have a 1950, Westinghouse radio over here. I've saved a few things that I kind of knew that I liked, and I knew they might be valuable someday. It's not for monetary reasons I saved them, but I'm a collector. And I'm realizing that this last 5, 6 years or so, I'm realizing more and more, I love to collect things. I never really saw myself as a collector. I'm not really a hoarder. I don't like to hoard stuff. I don't like clutter. But I do like collecting. And you collect because of the memories. A lot of people say, oh, you're one of those retro gamers. And actually, I never saw myself as a retro gamer, but just a gamer. I like to game. And whether I go back, I went over a friend's house and we partied last night. He's got a cool Donkey Kong machine that he bought from a bar that was liquidating everything. The thing plays and works great. And it's really cool. It got me thinking, God, I'd like to have at least one arcade machine. I might get, Galaxian, something like that, or Centipede, or one of my favorite old arcade games. If I can afford it and can find one that's in working shape, some of them you can restore, and I could redo all the stencils on it myself. I'm looking forward to it. It's almost like restoring a car. I'd like to have at least one. So I'm going to be, this summer, I'm also going to be re-drywalling my whole garage, putting some neon out there, and I'd like to have at least one nice arcade machine, just because I can, to have it out there. And make a cool game room, so I can pull the cars out, have some friends over, and have, just even having that machine on in the background, even if no one plays it, is really cool. So being a collector is where it's at. This cloud thing and this PlayStation Now, it flies in the face of who I am as a gamer, who I am as a collector. I'm not real thrilled about it. I don't say I get overly morose or depressed about it, but like Rich at Review Tech, I'm not thrilled about it. I don't like it either. And my depression came in right after the Microsoft reveal. I had this weird, like a wave that just went over me, like a damp blanket, And I was like under a storm cloud. I felt really depressed, and I couldn't put my finger on it. That's why I made that thing about, what of our legacy of gaming. And I talked about my concerns for the future. Well, since then, I went out and I got the PlayStation 2. And since then, I went out and got a PlayStation 4, which I love. In fact, just last night, I downloaded, it took about only 25 minutes to a half hour to download the whole, install the Call of Duty Ghost on it. Because I just finished Call of Duty 4 last night and loved it. And I said, now I'm ready to play a more modern warfare type Call of Duty Ghost. So I love my PlayStation 4. Oh, there goes my gremlin. God forbid I knock him over. I've had this little guy since the 80s, actually. I love him. My mother gave me, this is the finest gift my mother ever gave me, by the way. This is Gremlin. And the little gremlins will go with it. But I love this PlayStation 4, and I'm looking forward to installing more games. I've been playing Battlefield 4 in it too, and I love it. It's fantastic. So yeah, I love my PlayStation 3, but since that last, let me grab this real quick. Since that last video that I did on our or the legacy of gaming, I went out, I followed through, and I got the brand new Xbox 360 E-model. 250 gig, I did an unboxing video, and then I put it back in the box, and I'm waiting to get the 320 gig hard drive to install in it, and then I'll swap all my information over. I'm going to have a TV set up by my desk with an Xbox 360 there. I'll have the other Xbox 360 by my big TV where I can play in the living room. It'll be a beautiful thing, and if my 09 Elite takes a dump, I've got another one as a backup, which will last for years. I'll get another decade or so out of it. Especially where I'm dividing my time up amongst the retro consoles, the PlayStation 4, and the PlayStation 3. I don't game as hardcore as some of the younger gamers that play every game that comes out and goes, chainsaws through hour after hour. So for me, these games and consoles will last forever. That's exciting to me. That's what I want. I'm excited about the ability for younger gamers that maybe never experienced one of those PlayStation 2 games, and if they want to go back and I heard Bully was really cool, or Warriors or something like that, they can play them. That's great. I think there's nothing wrong with having these services and options, but if that's what the future is and they just do away with physical copies completely, I'm not going to dig that. Then I will become a retro gamer, and I'll be playing these old, PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games, or even the PlayStation 4 games. That's why I didn't get an Xbox One. I don't want to play heavy cloud-based games, Titanfall games, and the Division, even the Crew, and some of these games which initially I was looking forward to. It's like, it's only as good as the service. What happens if there's a hiccup with the service? I mean, we're already having problems, with Battlefield 4 online multiplayer. Still having problems with GTA 5. Weird glitches and things. It's just, in this country in particular, and even the last 3 years, we've been in 3 different locations until I bought this house, and sometimes the internet is god-awful. I mean, you can't even stream Netflix, it's so bad. Now this house, our internet's good. We get the highest speed internet because we're in a slightly different part of Sacramento. We're able to have a service here that we couldn't have in Roseville, and the streaming is really good, thank God, knock on wood. So I can watch my YouTube videos. God, over there, I couldn't even make it through one YouTube video on my Xbox 360 app. They get all chopped up. So I'm not a big fan of this. And I know down the road they'll fix the streaming. Oh, it'll be better and all this. But I don't like the latency. I don't like the lag in it. I just don't like this nebulous cloud thing where you don't own anything. I'm not even real thrilled. Like right now, I can install Sleeping Dogs for free in my hard drive of my Xbox 360 because I have, Xbox Gold. Well, that's great. And I just actually got the code for Tomb Raiders because it's in my, this Xbox 360 box. It comes, oh, it's heavy. It comes with Tomb Raider, the code. So I download it in the present, 09 Elite, just to have it, because I do love the game very much, and I'm looking forward to playing it again. Even if I don't play it again, because it'll be on the PlayStation 4 real soon. I'm definitely going to get that definitive edition of it. But it's nice to have it. So I may or may not install the Sleeping Dogs. I do have the disc here and tons of DLC for it, and I love it. But if they pull the plug and stop in a couple of years, and they will, they're going to stop supporting the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. And so I want to have big hard drive install and install just my very favorite games with all the DLC, with the patches, everything. They can pull a plug. Who cares? I'm good for years. I could even get another Xbox 360, a third one, or a third PS3, and transfer the data from one hard drive to another. So I can, in theory, keep that gaming going forever. I haven't had the privilege of playing many of these games. A lot of younger gamers, went out and got an Xbox 360 day one, so they've been current with all the games. I'm years behind on a lot of these PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 games. So I've got years of gaming ahead. Even right now, if I never get a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, I've got years of gaming here that I can enjoy. So I can't lose. The new Mad Max game, Wolfenstein: The New Order. Even The Witness, I'm looking forward to very much for the PlayStation 4. I'll get all those games. I'll get Thief. I'll probably get Dying Light, and many of these other cool games that I'm seeing. This new Rambo game that's coming out, actually, crappy looking, almost a very dated PS2 looking game, but it looks fun. It'll be one of those guilty pleasures for the Xbox 360, PS3. I'm definitely going to get that. I like games of all types, and I've done a couple rants on that recently. But I want to keep my gaming collection alive for years. I'm very concerned, and since last June when I did that Whatever Gaming Legacy rant, I have followed through and gotten most of the systems. I haven't got the other backup PS3 yet, but I will get it soon, and I'm getting a new PC as well, so I can finally use the damn PVR that I bought over a year and a half ago. So I want to be able to start doing high quality gaming reviews and little gameplay videos and rants and what have you. That's what this Escape to Gaming show is about. That's when I want to bring my 2 cents. I'm an older gamer. Not everyone's going to relate or frankly agree with my train of thought on this kind of stuff. But it's important for me to pontificate what I feel about gaming and collecting. It's important. I don't want to see it die. I don't want to see it all go to some nebulous stream and digital only future. Some people think, who cares? Well, I care. And when you get older, you'll care looking back when all of a sudden, because whether you like it or not, 10 years or 20 years is going to go by. And think about that. 8 or 10 years from now or 12 years from now, you're going to look back, God, remember those games we played on that Xbox? Remember when I was younger, we played on that, remember the Xbox 360? You'll be looking back and those game systems are gone, or now they're so old and so used you can't find a reliable one, or it'll cost you a lot of money to find one on eBay in the future. Maybe you'll have the patches, maybe you won't, maybe the games will work, maybe they won't, I don't know. But I'm preparing now because I'm a gamer and I want to keep my legacy of gamings for years to come. So let me know in the comments what you think. I know everyone's going to have a different point of reference, a different point of view on gaming and game collecting. A lot of people don't care. It's a GameFly world for them. Oh, I just rent the game, I ran it over the weekend, it was alright, played half of it, I'll never play that game again, and that's fine. I used to be the same way with a lot of things. Flash in the pan. You didn't really think ahead. But when you get older, you will look back and you will miss a lot of those games. I had friends of mine just recently that traded their, Xbox 360s in for the new Xbox One, or went to GameStop and traded their PlayStation 3s in for PS4s. And some of them said, God, I hate to do this, but I have no choice. I need the money. I got to do it. And I'm like, oh God, for the love of God, don't do it. You're going to regret it. But some of them already are because they immediately got the PlayStation 4. There's only so many games on it. God, I got nothing to play on. Or I wish I had a PlayStation 3. Now I could download this, a PlayStation Plus, or whatever. And I'm learning from history. I'm going to learn from history. I don't want to make the same mistakes again. I urge all of you, if you can afford to, hang on to some of those old consoles. Or maybe, when you can afford them, buy a couple of them back. You can still get them used, still get good deals on them. And keep a few of your favorites. Keep like 10 of your favorite games. for each of those systems. You won't regret it. You will regret getting rid of it and then not having it, but you never regret hanging on to something for posterity. And as an older gamer, that's really the best advice I can give. So thanks for watching, guys. This is like a little follow-up video I wanted to do, just kind of showing that I did follow through with my plans of getting a lot of those old, retro consoles, the analog TV, and I had forgotten that whole rant that I did. And then Rich at Review Tech did that, and I get depressed too. I just said, I can't get excited about something that I have really, frankly, no faith in, because things are changing and morphing all the time. Look how much cell phones have changed. Look how much televisions, everything has changed just in the last few years. Who knows where it'll be 3 years from now, 5, 10, 20 years from now. I'm going to prepare ahead. As long as I have an outlet I can plug my Super NES into, or Panasonic 3DO, or my Xbox 360E into, I'm going to have a good time, because I'm going to plan ahead. I urge you to, if you can, if it's something that interests you, do the same thing. You can't lose. So enjoy those games, retro or new. Have a wonderful time with your gaming console and your game of choice. And thanks for watching.